So I'm Angela. I am a Mama and Grammie in Northern Kentucky. And as you're coming in, I would love for you to tell me where you're from. And I apologize for the glare on my glasses. I really don't need this too much. I am going to fix this a bit because I am here to show stay-at-home moms money saving tips. And one of mine is being able to use things over and over again, right? I have a relative who shall remain nameless who buys new decorations all the time. But when you're on the debt-free journey and you're trying to save money, you are looking for any way to not spend money, right? So I have, last year I have grapes. And so I went outside and I made a grapevine wreath and decided, you know what, it's just going to be a perpetual wreath that I'm going to use over and over again. And I changed the decor on it with each season. Hey, come on in. Hey, Pam, is that you? Hey, Pam. Hi. I am just explaining that I have this wreath that I made out of grapevines from my yard. And I make it a perpetual wreath. I change it every season. So right now it's got fall on it. And I'm going to change it out for Christmas as I ask some people some questions about making money from home on TikTok because I just got invited. Oh, thank you. I just got invited into the TikTok shop. I don't understand it at all. I know there's a whole lot of people out there that understand it a lot better than I do. And I'm hoping that they will hop in here and give me some clues and tidbits. Have you done much with it yet, Pam? I'm going to make this larger so I can see better. Have you done much with it yet? I just put some things in there that I thought I would personally like to have. And I ordered a couple of things. Yeah, I just put a few things in. And I ordered a couple of things that I wanted to try out and maybe do some videos for and just see how it goes. Just some things that I would have wanted anyway, like this point of view camera holder where you can put it around your neck and then your phone is there. So that I can record myself doing recipes or, whatever, which I'm going to do some of that for my blog, not even on here, but yeah. So keep coming on in. Tell me where you're from. I know Pam's from Georgia and I am Angela. I am in Northern Kentucky, which is technically the Cincinnati, Ohio area. And I'll just go ahead and get started. So I bought some things yesterday. If you go anywhere that does arts and crafts, they've already got all their Christmas stuff on sale. And this was half price. So I picked up some things that I want to put on the wreath. And I already had this ribbon, so that didn't cost me anything now. And I probably bought it on clearance at the same place. And this was the only thing I paid full price for, was the floral wire. And I have to cut my piece of it right away because I always forget. And then my wreath always falls apart while I'm trying to cut my piece of wire. And I never cut it big enough. So I'm going to cut this pretty big. And I just use my pruners, my outside pruners to do this. So as I'm doing this, I would love to hear more about anyone's TikTok shop adventures. I'm new to that. I'm also getting invited to some creator content kind of things that are really new to me. So anybody who's a content creator, I would love to hear some of those things as well. And I just take the ribbon and just make a really simple bow. And I need to make this bigger so I can see comments. Anybody out there, a TikTok shop person who has some tricks of the trade for me? I'm new to this and have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. And I'm okay with that. I love to learn, but I just want to make sure that I do it the right way, that I don't get in trouble, with anything. I have already been selling digital products and, I'm already familiar with how that goes on TikTok and how to create decent content, how to encourage, oh, that's for me. Okay, yeah, I would love to hear from all of you guys who are coming in. You can either tell me where you're from, tell me what your Christmas plans for fun are doing. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you know, I am here to try to empower you on your, I call it my debt-free journey to leave a legacy of freedom, because my kids are all grown and I'm still trying to break, you know, cycles of spirit of lack and learning to live in abundance no matter what your income is. So that was one reason why I created this perpetual wreath from the grapevines in my yard. I am a urban farmer as well, grow a lot of our own food, preserve a lot of our own food. And if you go to my digital store, I have started a blog where I'm going to be sharing recipes and ideas like this. Sometimes it'll be video, sometimes it'll be written. I really hope to create an ebook of recipes that are not expensive to make, that you don't have to go buy a whole bunch of funny ingredients for, that then you never use those ingredients again. Anybody ever done that? You can give me a thumbs up or a little hand wave in the comments. I used to love Rachel Ray recipes when my kids were younger, because they were like 30 minutes or less, right? But she always used curry sauces or mango chutney or something that then I would have the rest of that in my fridge for a really long time, and I would forget to make the recipe again or whatever, and then it would go bad, and, you know, lots of wasted money, which when you're a broke stay-at-home mom, you don't want to do. I have learned from some of my mistakes. So, except now, oh, there it is. I had already cut my piece of wire and now I couldn't find it. So you just make your bow as big as you want. There's all kinds of tutorials online about how to make bows. All I do is just a very simple, hold it in the middle. And if it is, you know, sometimes you get them where they're not the same on both sides. This one happens to be. And all I do is just kind of twist it in the middle as I'm doing it, if that is the case. And I just get it as full as I want it. And this one honestly does not have as much wire in the sides as I normally like to have, because I just feel like you get a better bow if it has more wire in the edges. So yeah, actually I haven't been paying attention and this one's kind of wonky. This one's not real pretty. So I see some big loops there. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit tighter. So hang on, we're gonna do this again. I'll show you better. So I started making it too big is the problem. So you just fold it over in the middle and then I kind of pinch it in the middle where the middle is going to be. And then you just take it to the same size, just loop on the same size. Keep coming on in, keep letting me know where you're from. I would love to hear where you're from, why you're here, how you found me. Is TikTok pushing this out into your For You page, or are you a stay-at-home mom who's following me and you saw that I was going to be doing this? And I am all about empowering stay-at-home moms to be able to continue to stay home, even though they might be broke like we always were, because we were always a one-income family in a two-income world. And I mean, I tried everything. I tried MLMs. I tried working part-time when he was off and could be home with the kids. I did seasonal work, preparing taxes, which is not fun, other than I'm a math person. So it wasn't that bothered me. It was when you had to tell people they owed money or they weren't getting back as much money as they thought they were going to get. That was more customer relations kind of stuff that was just, you know, could get ugly very quickly. So anywho, I have learned over the years lots of tips and tricks, and I am currently trying to make money from home, but, you know, that's got its ups and downs too, right? We're all just doing what we can. And when I just saw on here all kinds of stay-at-home moms who are having trouble with, you know, basic necessities, I just thought, hey, I will share some of the things I've learned over the years, and maybe hopefully that will help somebody out. So I always do cut my piece. Well, I don't always cut my piece of metal. There, it went down on the floor. Sorry, I'll be right back. My piece of wire, just florist wire. That was the only thing I had to pay full price for at the store yesterday. And it was like a couple of bucks. All of these things were already 50% off at a craft store because, you know, they're getting ready to move in other things. People who do crafts and do craft show stuff like they were done with all their Christmas supplies months ago because they had to be ready for the Christmas season, right? So then I just tighten this in a loop, and I do leave a lot of it extended out here because I want to be able to wrap that onto my wreath. This is going to help me anchor it onto my wreath. And then I just cut it in the back. And I usually don't do any kind of fancy cut when I'm just doing this because that's going to be in the back and nobody's going to see it. And that's it. And then I just kind of like poof it out here. And these are great. Like I've done these on, most recently, I just thought this was the easiest thing in the world when I learned it years ago. And I took a present to my niece's, let's see, I guess it was a bridal shower last year. And all I had was some plain paper. It was like some plain brown wrapping paper. And I made a bow that I put on there like this. And everybody was just like, oh, wow, that is just such a gorgeous package. And all it was a bow. And I may have put some dried flowers from my yard on it or something. Really was very easy to make it look nice. So then there's my bow. And I'll show you the rest of how I do this. I'm going to start taking the old fall stuff. I like to get my bow ready first, just makes me feel like I've got something done and out of the way. And hey, as you're coming in, let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're on this broke life, debt-free journey along with me. I would love to hear from you. And I want to encourage you, you can go to my digital store and subscribe to my blog because I'm going to share this kind of stuff. Sometimes it'll be videos, sometimes it'll be just photos with the blog post. And I have to remember how I got all of this stuff on here. I really probably should have taken all of this off before I started. A lot of these things I just normally tuck back in here. But if you're just coming in, this is a grapevine. I'm an urban farmer. This is a grapevine wreath that I made when I pruned my grapevines last, I guess that would have been January. Would have been January of 2024 when I pruned them. And while I was standing outside, I just looped around and made this wreath. And I decided I was going to make it a perpetual wreath. It's not really shaped really great, but it's good for the front door. It's really big. And I was going to just make it a perpetual wreath. So each season I've just bought some new, the only thing I've really had to buy is the ribbon. Just buy the ribbon and make my bow and then do all the decorating around it. And if you're not able to stay around, I will do live highlights of this and show you what the finished product is. So I hope you'll come back and find that. So I just change it each season and I decide where I'm going to put this. So since that one was kind of on the side up here, I'm probably going to do it a little bit lower to make this just different. And I don't know, this is just something I enjoy. So then those extra pieces of wire that I had, I just take that around and just secure it. And that's all I'm doing. And then I'll show you how I decorate the rest of it. This is super easy. Anybody could do this. And when I was at the craft store, which shall remain nameless, yesterday I looked and their grapevine wreath is smaller than this, but they're only a couple of dollars. I mean, I think it was like $2.99, and you could probably get a coupon online because it was, in fact, you could scan in the store a 30% off coupon for any regular priced item. So that would have made those wreaths, I guess that would have taken like 60 cents off or so. So they would have been definitely under $3. So there it is on there. Looks like I'm having a little technical difficulty. So there's the bow. That's where we're going to start. I'm not even sure I'm still on here. This is having a little bit of a sluggish delay, which happens. I'm actually sitting right over where my Wi-Fi is in my house. So I know it is not my Wi-Fi. Okay. So then I purchased these things, and I don't know if you guys have ever worked with anything like this, but you can like separate all of this out. So this was half price. And so this was the most expensive thing I bought. This would have been $7.50, half price, but I can take every single one of these off of here and use it in a different place on my wreath. So I hope people are still coming in, or if you're out there watching in the shadows and you don't really feel a different place on my wreath. So I hope people are still coming in, or if you're out there watching in the shadows and you don't really feel like you're ready to come in, that's okay. I'm Angela. I am from Northern Kentucky, and I'm going to be doing money saving ideas and tips for stay-at-home moms or anybody really who's interested. And not just money saving tips, but also, how do we make money from home? How do we help provide for our families? Because we don't want our husbands to have all of that stress only on them. And I was saying earlier, I've tried everything when my kids were little. They're all grown now, but I had to stay home initially because I had some medical issues. And now I stay home because I started an online business. And if you want to find more out about that, you can go to my digital store, which is in my profile. You just click through from there. Lots of different opportunities to make money from home. But I recognize that a lot of the people I'm talking to, life is really hard right now. In our current nation's situation, life is really hard. And so all I'm doing is taking these things apart so I can put them on different places in my wreath. And then, I don't feel comfortable asking stay-at-home moms who are already broke, to fork over hundreds of dollars. If they want to do that, that's great. It really is a great opportunity. Any of these digital products, great opportunity to earn affiliate income or master resale rights at, 100% profit. I would just encourage you to do your research, find the one that's best for you. And I'm just going to continue here. Even if nobody's here, I'm just going to continue because this is going to be a highlight reel that I am going to enter into a creator rewards thing that I don't even fully understand. So I take a piece and it's going to be, double because I'm going to go around the wreath. And this I usually do cut on an angle. I usually do cut that on an angle because I want, the ends to look nice, or I could do a V cut, something like that. Okay. And I'm just throwing my trash over here because this tablecloth is going to come off. It was for Thanksgiving and I just haven't taken it off yet. And so if it gets dirty, it's no big deal. Okay. So then all I do with this is, and it doesn't even have to be the same on both sides. I actually like it when things are not even. I think that makes it look a little more attractive. So then I just literally start going in here and through here and kind of like tucking it in different places. I know you guys probably can't see that. And going around just like you would on a Christmas tree. I use ribbon on my Christmas tree instead of tinsel. Okay. So then, you know what? I might restart my live and finish this up. Might actually do two different ones. I don't know. Let's just keep going here. Okay. So maybe if I keep going long enough, TikTok will send some people in here. That would be awesome. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Let me know where you're from in the comments. I would love to know that information. And I'm just decorating this wreath here, trying to give stay-at-home moms some ideas on how to save money. And I just use this as a perpetual wreath. It is, oh, hi, Texas, great. My daughter's in Texas, Houston area. Thanks for joining me. But just trying to give moms some incentive, empower moms to know that, yes, you can do the debt-free journey. I'm all about, I want to leave a legacy of freedom for my kids. I know they're adults, but now we're starting to have grandkids. And so I have a daughter-in-law who's trying to stay home. And I just really want to encourage young moms to know, yes, it's going to be hard. It is absolutely going to be hard. And your life is going to look different than everybody else's. And we homeschooled all of our kids. So our lives always look different than everybody else's. And maybe not so much now, but when I started doing it, just followed you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And when we started doing it, there weren't a lot of homeschool families that we knew. So just the little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to try to make it cheaper for moms to be able to stay home. And actually, I always kind of grew tomatoes or something, but eventually kind of felt led to become an urban farmer. And that is one way that I try to give back to my neighbors and my kids, canning stuff and save us money. So I'll be sharing tips and tricks on all of those things, doing a pantry challenge in January that Three Rivers Homestead on YouTube, she does every January. I think she does January and February, where you're just trying to use up the things that you already have in your cupboard without going to the grocery store or only going for like staples like milk and bread or, something like that. So I'll be sharing all those kind of things as we go along. And I just really want this to become a community where stay-at-home moms can encourage each other. And honestly, I'm not bougie. You're welcome to be here if you're bougie. I am not. But that's not what you're going to find here. You're not going to find Martha Stewart here. You're going to find real, practical ways to save money and not just be surviving. That's always my big thing. Like leaving a legacy of freedom, I can do that even without leaving my kids millions of dollars, right? I can empower them to know that you can live a simple life, you can live a pretty life, and it doesn't have to be expensive. So all told, and I think I spent $10 on everything that I have here. This was free out of my yard. I already had the yarn, which I'd probably bought. I think I bought this like 75 or 90% off after Christmas last year at the same place where I just went and got these things yesterday. These were all half off. And so then I just start plugging them in around wherever I want. I probably should put the flowers in here first. Again, half off yesterday at the craft store. Got to set that down to take this off. I guess I should use my scissors. But yeah, the only thing that I bought that was full price was the florist wire. That was it. And it was just a couple of bucks. But even if you don't have your own grapevines or know someone who does have their own grapevines, you can absolutely go there and do I think they usually have like a 30% off of a regular priced item. And so that would have made they're a little bit smaller, but it made their wreaths and make them like $2.50. And you can just, buy clearance yarn, clearance items, and you can just, keep adding to your collection of things each season. And I know for some people that can still get expensive. So thrift stores, have you ever gone to thrift stores for craft items? Totally an option. And while you're here, if you're interested in stuff like this, I did just start a blog. I had a blog years ago and decided to start that again so that I can include things like this in it. And we're going to have recipes and, just all kinds of, I just really want it to be a hub for stay-at-home moms to know, hey, you can do this and you can have fun doing it and you can be creative. I'm a Christian, so creativity is very important to me. I feel like God is a creative God, and there's something that unleashes in us when we're creative. So this is fun for me. This is probably the most fun I've ever had in a live. So just being creative and sharing information with people. And the great thing about all of this is if I put this on my door and I don't like it, I can come back and tweak it and fix it later, because all these are just clip-on. They had little clip-ons. I'm not this isn't permanently attached. I don't permanently attach anything so that I can come in each season and change it. And I think last year I'm of Irish background, so I think I even did a St. Patrick's Day that wasn't just seasonal. So yeah, but just put your stuff around wherever you want it, throw it in there. These little things with the sticks go into the grapevine really well. That's the other reason why I like the grapevine wreath, because then none of it is permanently attached and I can just use my wreath over and over again. And these red picks are probably not going to show up real well unless I get something green behind them. So that's good to know. And I when I do anything like this, I really like texture. don't like for things just to be flat and, you know, not look nice, but this is going to be on my door. So I like for things to stand out. And honestly, my neighbor across the street is probably the only person who even gets to see it, but she will have something pretty to look at for the rest of the season. And then I'll change it over to winter with blues and snowflakes and probably the wise men until January 6th. We are not Catholic, but I just really like the whole idea of celebrating Epiphany. And that little guy just came off, so I'm going to stick him somewhere. I don't know if anybody's still coming in. I hope you are, because I still got a lot to do here. And I'm going to feel really foolish if I'm just sitting here all by myself. But again, this is probably the most fun I've ever had in a live. Lives stress me out. So, I mean, if I put much more on that is going to be way too much. So I might just kind of tuck in some more greenery here around the bow, just to kind of make the bow stand out a little bit more. Okay, and it's gonna hang on the door like that. So I don't know if you can, let me stand back here a little bit. I had way too much stuff, so I can put these things someplace else. So here you go. I feel like that's probably good enough, don't you? I'm not even sure anybody's here, but if you are, you can give me a thumbs up or a heck no, that looks horrible. I would never hang that on my door. So yeah, that is my perpetual, oh, I got something hanging off over here. That's my perpetual wreath. Hangs on my door. I will finish out my video from the live for my live highlights with this hanging on my door so you can see how the finished product is. And if there is anybody here, I do encourage you, go to my digital store, sign up, subscribe to my blog. I've got to do some technical stuff in there to make sure that the blog, you know, subscriptions will be handled appropriately. And so I'm still working on that. I'm still setting up all that kind of stuff, but I already have some blog posts out there, some, you know, affiliate partnerships. I said this was a paid promotional thing because I didn't know if it would get into me talking about my business or talking about the affiliate things that I'm doing or TikTok shop or anything like that. I'm just starting with TikTok shop. I'm totally clueless. Do not understand that at all. So I will be doing some research on videos for that. And if anybody has any clues, drop into my direct messages and give me some tips and tricks or send me some videos that I can watch to learn more about that. I'm Angela. I am in Northern Kentucky. I am a mama and Grammie. I've been a stay-at-home mama for the most part since 1995 when we had our first daughter. And I have truly loved every minute of it. And I just want to empower moms to know that through money saving tips and tricks and to learn ways to make money from home, they can stay home and have a nice life. It might not be the bougie life that you see other people having, but it'll be a life of contentment and peace and joy. And that's what we're all celebrating this time of year anyway, right? So thank you for joining me. I am here Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We finished out the wreath. If you're just tuning in, I will have this in my live highlight video that I put out in just a little bit. I really like how it turned out, and that was pretty easy. We did that in less than 30 minutes. So yeah, I'll also have it linked in my blog. I'm going to do a post about that. And I thank you for tuning in, and join me tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I actually think we're going to use up some leftover Thanksgiving mashed potatoes and make shepherd's pie. And I will keep you posted about that if it changes. But come back and see me Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm Angela, and I would love for you to introduce yourself in my DMs or go follow me or whatever you feel comfortable with doing. Go subscribe to my blog. And I hope to see you around here next time. Bye-bye.